We are live. Hey, we finally went live here.
Figured it out, huh?
Yeah, we figured it out. Hey, Bruce Boxing fans. Raider, I'm looking down at the computer instead of the camera. See, I got to learn that. I'm not a TV star.
Look at the camera.
Look at the camera. Hey, it's finally here. First pay-per-view of the year. The Charlo brothers are fighting tonight. We got Tecate on the line if you watched our last show, which took a couple long shots, unlike the judge here. I'm Raider Live, by the way. Judge Jimmy James is here. Filthy Rich is stuck in traffic, as per usual. He's not here yet. Maybe he'll show up before the end of the show. We hope so. I've already had a couple beers. That's why the slurring's happening. It's all right.
Number one for me.
Big fights tonight, though, James. Big fights tonight. Which one are you looking forward to the most?
For me, it's the Charlo Derevyanchenko. That's the biggest fight. Definitely the biggest fight by far. It's going to be the closest fight, most action-packed. We're going to see who comes out for each one. But
work the body.
Yeah, I mean, Charlo's going to need to. He's going to have the ring generalship. He's going to be the guy that's dictating the fight. If Derevyanchenko is not close, I think Charlo's going to.
Derevyanchenko's only losses were to Triple G, and who's the other one he lost to? Is that
Daniel Jacobs?
Daniel Jacobs, that's right.
Many people thought that Derevyanchenko beat Triple G.
I believe you said at the time it was close. You would have almost called it a draw at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Big Triple G fan.
We're huge Triple G fans, and the fact that one was as close as it was, and that was when he was still with Abel Sanchez, I believe, too. That was before the new Triple G, where he decides that he's.
I'd have to look that up. That was either his last fight with Sanchez or his first fight with Jonathan Banks.
It could have been his first fight with Jonathan Banks, because I think maybe he left Abel Sanchez after the last Canelo fight.
I'd have to look it up. But
yeah,
Jonathan Banks, boo. If Richie was here, he would argue that.
Triple G, please go back to Abel Sanchez. Just, find him, just like in Rocky 3, find him, go back to your trainer, go back to your roots, find that eye of the tiger. If you got one more shot against Canelo, oh, God, we have to drink a Tecate on Friday. On Thursday, I just realized that. We're going to be Bolda. But if you're going to fight Canelo one more time, please, please, please go back to Abel Sanchez. Wow, I can talk.
What about you, Raider? What fight are you most looking forward to?
See, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to the Casemiro fight, because I went out on a limb on this. If you went on our show, I went on a limb, and I took Micah. Is it Micah? Micah. It's Micah.
That works for me.
We'll figure out when they say it three different ways when they come. I think it's Micah. He is the baby-faced Terminator, which is one of the greatest nicknames of all time, next to the Ginger with the intent to injure. He's coming in right now on an 8-1 underdog, so it's kind of tough. He started at 5, and then after I said bet him, he jumped up to an 8. So it shows how much the betting public trusts my opinion on this fight. But he's undefeated. He's knocked out everyone, I think, except 2 guys. He hasn't had any big fights yet. This is his first main stage. But you see guys when they get up to that level where, hey, now it's your championship time to shine. He's going to be on a major pay-per-view, the first major pay-per-view of the year. I think it's going to be fun. We might have an upset in that one. I'm kind of looking forward to it. If an upset happens, you're going to hear about it on the podcast nonstop. By the way, we're going to have a podcast after the show just for everyone it's not going to be on YouTube. It's only going to be for our podcast subscribers. So check that out. We'll have reactions to our fights, to our bets, to find out who's going to be drinking Tecate next week. Hopefully it's both of these guys. It's going to be great. I want to talk a little bit about that Rosario Charlo fight, though, the other one, the co-main event. That one's kind of taking the back burner to the Derevyanchenko fight. And should it take the back burner to that fight? Because Rosario is no slouch. He's definitely no slouch, and he's getting disrespected in the betting fields right now.
He's not, but if we're talking about Charlo, Jermell and Jamal, Jermell is the lower Charlo brother, in my opinion. He's the one who lost to Tony Harrison. On the first fight, he came back and beat Tony Harrison in the second fight, but this is his fight after regaining that title. So Rosario, I don't remember who he just fought him previously, but it was still a good fight. This is going to be still going to be an action-packed fight, but I just don't think it's going to be to the same level as the Charlo Derevyanchenko fight. It's still one you're going to want to watch both because these brothers are explosive.
It is the biggest fight of his career for sure. Not of Charlo's, but Rosario's for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe it's that step-up factor, like I say with Mika. He's going to step up in the spotlight, take it over, and we're going to have a new guy talking about. A couple fights that happened today. You didn't notice this. I just told you when you walked in. Dorticos lost today. Lost his title. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, Dorticos against Bridas. Cruiserweight. That was the end of the WBSS, the Super Series. That actually got postponed from the beginning of the year. Finally came to conclusion. I really thought Dorticos was going to be able to pull that out, but Bridas has obviously been going through every single person that Usyk beat before he moved up to heavyweight, including Usyk also beat as well. So that was a bummer, but
he won that fight by decision, and he won it handily. If you watch that fight, he did win it handily. There was a little worry at the decision, but the best fighter definitely won that fight. Dorticos took a lot of damage. Hopefully he can come back from this. It's a little late in his career, but hopefully. Congratulations to Bridas winning the Muhammad Ali trophy of that event as well. He celebrated like you won the World Series. It was great. You should have seen it.
I'll have to watch that in between fights here.
Now, the fights tonight, which one can our guests go to and sort of the bathroom on that it's going to be such a blowout you don't even need to watch it?
Oh, I think the Figueroa Vasquez. I think Brandon Figueroa is going to destroy Vasquez. I think that one's going to be the fight where you're if you need to take a nap for a little bit to make sure that you're going to stay up for the Charlo fight.
You might not have time to take a nap in that.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, everything's got to be scheduled, so they might have to plug a lot of time in between fights after that Figueroa fight. But I just don't think that's.
Could you see a first round knockout in this one?
I don't. In any of the fights tonight, I don't think we're going to see a first round knockout. It's possible, but I mean, all the people, like all these guys besides Alameda. I guess Alameda and Micah. Those are the two guys that are kind of untested. So I guess those are possibilities, but I don't think Casimiro or Nere has that sort of first round power. They definitely have knockout power. I don't think they have first round knockout power.
Well, it's Figueroa is going off for you gamblers here at a minus 15,000, which means you have to lay $15,000 to win 100.
Oh, that jumped.
So that is
the last time I looked at that, it was negative 2,000.
Yeah, it's way up there now. It's basically the surest thing you can get in life, unless somebody shoots Figueroa on the way to the ring. I think he's going to win that fight.
Wow.
That's like me fighting you back in the day.
I don't think so, folks. Renaissance Festival. I won that.
Yeah.
I won that.
Don't look that up. Let's talk a little bit about Payano and Roman. We haven't touched on that fight a little bit. Roman was all our unanimous pick to win that fight. Roman coming off. I don't even remember his last fight. Do you?
I'd have to look it up. That's my fault for not checking into that.
When we go live, we just go live.
Yeah. No prep. No, Roman should definitely. I think he should beat Payano. Payano did. He just lost to somebody. His last fight, he lost to somebody, and he got knocked out. And I can't remember who it is. I remembered on the podcast. Go check out the podcast from yesterday that just got released today. It's on there. But Roman, that's going to be a close fight too. But I think Roman's going to. I think Roman's going to handle him. It should still go to decision, but yeah, we'll see. Rich is big on Payano.
Yeah, Rich is big on Payano, but he also picked Roman in the fight. Spoiler alert, if you haven't watched or listened to our podcast or watched our show yet, spoiler, you should have watched it by now. It's been out a day.
Nobody wants to drink Tecate.
No,
okay?
Nobody does. But we keep saying that. If you haven't watched the show, another spoiler, we released a new segment this week, a Pick'em segment. It's called the B&B, It's What's Gonna Be. I think that's what it's going to, or How It's Gonna Be. I don't remember how we called it. How the B&B, How It's Gonna Be. That's what the pick segment was.
Well, you roll with whatever, and if you're wrong, I can hit you.
Well, that wasn't part of the bet, but we did have a bet on the pick segment. These guys all took the chalk, just as it happened. I went on a limb, and I took Mika, and I took Derevyanchenko. Whoever has the most points, or whoever has the least amount of points, ties included, has to drink Tecate on the next week's show. Which, if you've watched, I think it was it might have been the unanimous decision episode 2.
No, I think it was the first episode that I was in for Bruising Boxing because I had lost the Mike Tyson. Who said it? Tyson or Trump? That's right. What I lost. That was very difficult. And I had to read the story on the bottle. It was terrible, and it was like a big can like this.
I went and bought it. I found one, and I bought it, and I brought it to his house and left it on his doorstep and texted him. I said, "I left you a little present outside."
That's not a present.
I wanted to make sure. You lost the bet, so I just didn't want you to have to pay for it at the same time. You know, you were already going to pay for it at one point.
I was paying for it.
But we give Tecate a lot of crap. But if you guys want to sponsor us, we'll choke it down. I got some lemon juice. We can put it in whiskey or something. Maybe.
No, that's not going to make it better. No, just dump it out. Just dump it out.
I wanted to wait until Filthy Rich got here to talk about Nere a little bit, but he isn't here yet. Hopefully he gets here in the next 10 minutes because it looks like the fights are going to start here in about 15 minutes or so.
Right on.
So,
well, I'll tell you right now, there's the Nere Alameda is an up and comer. This man was talking so much smack. I'm not going to go through all of it, but he said everyone's going to know who Alameda is after this fight. So he is very confident that he's going to beat Nere. You
might see something. You might see something in training. You know, it'd be.
I don't know, man. Nere is 30-0. He's young. A lot of fights. I think he's got 25 knockouts. Like he's a dangerous man.
That's how I feel about Micah. Micah's a dangerous man too.
I don't know much about him. I might have to look that up before these fights happen. But Alameda, if he backs up his talk, there might be some fireworks in that one. But I don't know. Personally, pick the chalk. I have no problem with any of that. Like this is.
If you got the money to lay, I mean, go for it. Speaking of up-and-comers, my boy Jerron Boots Ennis won this week. I've been big talking about Boots. I couldn't get him on the show this week. We just didn't have time to get him in the show this week. Maybe next week. But another impressive victory. Another big up-and-comer like Micah and Alameda. What do you think about Boots? I know he scares you a little bit. He's that Terrence Crawford clone, and we all know how Judge Jimmy James feels about Terrence Crawford. I mean, if he wasn't already married, he'd consider marrying Terrence Crawford. But no. He's a Terrence Crawford clone. He works both hands well. He's got a lot of power.
He does. I don't know if I'd put him in the same class as Alameda and Micah. You're boosting those guys up a little too much.
It is. But I'm just talking about young and up and comers. That was called a segue.
Oh, well, those aren't up and comers. Either way,
Micah's kind of an up and comer. Alameda's definitely an up and comer.
We'll see.
They have to win.
Boots. Yes, he is a clone. He is a 10-year. He is Terrence Crawford 10 years ago, and that's scary because Crawford is dangerous. And yes, everyone's gonna say he's not tested. He's gonna be fighting Cal Brook. These guys think he's gonna get knocked out.
Yeah,
I disagree. We'll talk about that later.
Cal Brook is way too big for him.
Boots is dangerous. He is dangerous, quick. He is skilled. He has defense. He has offense. Generalship.
Footwork. His footwork is amazing.
It's nasty. It's nasty. If you want to watch some videos about Boots. Yeah. He's got some wicked angles. His
speed is something that's a little undermatched too with a lot of guys he fights. He's so much faster than a lot of the other guys that he fights. It just seems like they're standing in concrete while he's just dancing around them. It's just crazy. Now, granted, he hasn't fought the competition yet, but he's trying to. He's saying he wants to fight. He wants to fight the Terrence Crawfords. He wants to fight the Errol Spences. He wants to fight those guys. Is it too young for him, or is it too soon for him to do it? Or do you start off a little early, maybe a Sean Porter fight in his future?
You know, he's doing what he should be doing to the people he's fighting now.
Right.
So does he deserve a title fight? No, I don't think so. I think there's other people because this division is so stacked.
It is the most stacked division there is.
It is ridiculous. So the welterweight division, way too stacked. However, he could be somebody that might, I don't know if you get a mandatory, but he might be somebody that actually gets like, hey, guess what? I need a tune-up fight. He might end up being a tune-up fight.
Well, nobody wants to fight him for a tune-up fight.
You'll be surprised, man. There's some tune-up fights that I was very skeptical about that ended up being all right. But this one, is he deserving a title fight yet? No. Fight somebody else that doesn't have
would you take him against Sean Porter? I mean, we would buy that fight.
I would watch that fight in a heartbeat. Yeah. I think Porter's a different breed because Porter messes up everyone's defense. It doesn't matter who he fights. He messes up everyone's defense. For whatever reason,
that Errol Spence fight. You know?
Oh, 100%. Even the last fight with Ugas. He is. It's crazy, man. He's just I don't know why he messes people up so much. Is it because he's too short?
He might be.
He just figured
he looks like a muscle hamster when he's coming in there.
Fair enough, man. Usually, if you're taller, you just be able to jab all day and keep on the outside. But Porter finds a way to get in, and
he got in on Spence a lot.
I know,
fight. And
he does it with everyone.
You don't see people get inside on Spence very often. He's very good at keeping people outside him, pushing them out.
Definitely does.
So, I mean, that was very exciting to see. I would love to see Boots fight Shawn Porter. If he beat Shawn Porter, would that instantly put him in your top 5 of the welterweights or not?
Ooh, I don't know about top 5 in welterweights, but you want to give somebody a championship shot, yes. Okay. Shawn Porter right now, I believe, is unfortunately kind of a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Porter can still be a champion too. So
what about an Ugas Boots fight?
That would definitely be more of a possibility and all that, and I don't know.
That sounds like a good fight for Ugas. I mean, it's not a good fight in the fact that he could lose that fight, but it's a good fight where...
Yeah, but Boots could lose that fight.
Boots could lose that fight, but Boots loses fight. If Boots loses to Ugas, that doesn't hurt his career as much as like a Ugas losing to Boots would be, I would think.
Yeah, fair enough. That's fair.
Boots you can absorb a loss. We're past the days now where you have to be undefeated all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, true boxing fans, you guys boxing fans know that you don't have to be undefeated. It's just a marketing ploy. Hey, these two guys are undefeated. Yeah, well, who'd you fight?
Yeah.
Micah's undefeated. He's going 28-0. Great. Who's he fought? I don't know.
No, I don't either. Wikipedia or something. Boxing rec.
Did I see correctly? I may have read this wrong. Did I see Caesar Salad was fighting again and lost?
Caesar Salad lost.
I could have swore I saw this. I didn't watch the fight.
Okay, so his father, the
real
1-year-old Caesar Chavez or Caesar Chavez, I can't even say that name. He fought an exhibition against somebody else, some other old man who was like 41.
Right.
Also,
trying to get on this old man exhibition.
Just an exhibition. They're both wearing headgear, and that was. Watch that. That was actually pretty action-packed for having people with headgear. But yeah, Caesar Salad lost to some guy. I don't remember if he quit in the corner. But it was a TKO. I have to go back. I saw some of it and went, "You've got to be kidding me! His career is done." Caesar Salad.
See, I thought his career was done already.
Well, it really was, but he keeps trying to make a comeback after comeback, and he can't even beat this no-name dude. I don't even remember the guy's name. Starts with a C.
To make a comeback, you have to win a fight once in a while. I think every one of his comebacks he's lost, hasn't he?
Oh,
that's a Richie guy. I wish Filthy Rich was here. Maybe we'll bring up Caesar Salad when he gets here, and he'll throw in a few minutes on that. We got about 13 minutes left on this podcast on this live show before the fights start. Ooh.
So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I thought that was Rich. I thought I heard a door slam out
there. No, I'm not hearing nothing. Yeah, I'm hearing chirping.
Chirping? Yeah, there's a lot of chirping. Again, we're going to repeat if you're just joining us here that we are going to have a podcast after the show after the fights tonight, all about our reactions to the fights. You're going to find out who has to drink Tecate next week's show. This week's show is actually out on YouTube right now. You can watch it. It's also on all the podcasts right now. Tell us how many podcast servers we're on right now.
Cool.
We just got accepted to one today.
Right? We finally got accepted to Google Podcasts.
Yeah.
So now you can use your home speaker. So you can use Alexa or your Google Home. Just say, "Hey Google, watch our Play Bruising Boxing podcast."
I'm glad I had that turned off, by the way. I have one behind.
And it might turn that stuff right on, man. I know. Maybe that just messed up somebody if you're watching live.
It didn't mess it up because now you know it. You can just say, hey Google, play Bruising Boxing, and it actually plays our show.
It does. Cool. It's pretty cool. I tested it out today. Yeah. But yeah, we're on iHeartRadio. We're not on iHeartRadio yet. We're real close. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher. There's like 7 other random ones like Podchaser and
chances are if you listen to podcasts, you can search Bruising Boxing, you're going to find us.
You should.
You're going to find us. We're also going to be taking some I've been asked this many times by different fans and stuff. When are you guys going to have some photos of you guys together? Well, that's going to happen tonight. We're going to have little photo shoots. You see he's already got a glove. We got some ideas. Thank you, Ryan Hype, who's also part of the channel. If you haven't checked out poprocksrocks.com, he's a great band here in Minnesota. He also does all our promotion work on there with our posters, our artwork, and stuff like that. So thank you very much, Ryan, for doing that. Hopefully we take some good pictures. I mean, we're handsome men, right?
I mean, someone might get punched in the face.
that someone's always
pow right in the kisser.
That someone is always
to be honest, I think I want to take on Rich. Rich, you might be tall. You're not here yet. I'll hit you. I'll get you up in the face.
Rich is a vegan, so I mean, he probably doesn't have the stamina.
I don't know, man.
You got that protein backup where you.
I don't count nobody out. I don't count nobody out, man.
It's true. I mean, them vegans, they go through. They're strong.
Hey, I've seen plant-based diets. There's world strongmen that are vegan.
Yeah,
I ain't messing with that. You don't need 19 pounds of meat to beat stuff.
Well,
there's boxers that. Oh man, I wish.
So he just convinced me that I'll take Filthy Rich in that fight.
Hey, fair enough. He's prettier anyway, man. He's gonna protect his face a lot.
That's true. Well, we're still waiting for Filthy Rich to show up. He should be here any minute. We got about. Hopefully, he shows up before the 10-minute mark because that's when the fights are about to go live, and that's when we go off the air because we can't legally have the fights on our TV while we're going live. How do you like the new studio, by the way? I set it up. Very nice. I feel like we're a wrestler in interview wrestler, like Mean Gene Oakland.
Yeah,
I feel like.
definitely. I mean, you got the
bow tie going. I got the Mean Gene Oakland look here. I obviously
didn't
cut my hair and shave today. Yeah. I didn't tell these guys to dress up. That's why. That's my fault. We talked about we were going to go live. We even talked about it on the show, and classic. These guys forgot about it until, but. It happens, and they're that's right. We got to do that. And James is already here and dressed for watching fights. This is what you really dress like. But I'm dressed to be at the fight. Well, at least you can't see that I'm wearing shorts underneath there. But I'm dressed to be at the fight. James is dressed to be watching the fight. So I want to, if you're just joining us again, thank you very much for joining us. Please subscribe to us on all the podcastable things, YouTube Live / Raider or youtube.com/Raider Live. Big fights tonight. Charlo, Derevyanchenko, Charlo, Rosario. The Charlo brothers, first big pay-per-view of the year. First big one. And then we got, coming up, Lomachenko Lopez. You know how much Judge Jimmy James loves Lomachenko. I love Lomachenko. Lopez is talking like he's just going to walk him. I know Filthy Rich, since he's not here yet, he gets tired of talking about Lomachenko all the time, but we love Lomachenko. Filthy Rich loves Lomachenko, but he gets tired of talking about it just like James gets tired of us ripping on Terrence Crawford. But
that's fair.
Since he's not here, we can talk a little bit about that fight. I want to get your thoughts on it because everyone seems to think that Lopez is rising up in the standings here where, like, I see when we're on the Facebook groups, thank you, by the way, all our boxing Facebook groups, Boxing Elite, Boxing Connected, all those guys. Thank you for hosting our show every week. But I see a lot of those guys saying Teofimo Lopez is going to win that fight. My heart doesn't want to think that, but when I'm watching Teofimo Lopez, he's a bad man.
Look, so this fight was supposed to happen back in April, right? A long time ago. When this started, I've been a Lopez fan. He is a good fighter. He's
still our number.
Good power.
Yeah.
He's got good footwork. He's got good skills, but he is talking mad trash.
The only knock on Lopez though was that he was dodging all the big, like he was dodging Lomachenko for the longest time. Now it's on.
That
was the perception anyway that he was dodging Lomachenko.
I don't believe that. Okay. But either way,
promoters got in the way.
Promoters always get in the way, man. That is the biggest joke. I hope Bob Arum, Matchroom, all these people just fizzle out. Everybody becomes their own promoter, and we just see fight after fight after fight. Without the mumbo jumbo taking 12 years and stuff like that. Pacquiao, Mayweather. Come on, man.
Hey, maybe they'll fight again. But anyway, Lopez against Lomachenko. Do you think Lopez has this shot, or is it still just Lomo's fight to lose?
Lopez has a shot.
He has a shot.
I don't like saying it at all. Not one bit.
And this coming from the guy that still denies the Lomachenko knockdown against Linares.
That was a slip. That was a slip. He was doing a dance move.
When I knock him down later, he's going to call it a slip.
No, he's not. No, it's dangerous, man. Lomachenko is getting up there in age, which is kind of crazy to say because I didn't, he started boxing so late.
He's got like 10,000 fights under his belt.
He's 396-1 in amateur, so he played a lot of games before he got to the pros. But he is no joke. With his one loss being
it wasn't a loss. Let's get that straight right now.
Loss anyway,
it was not a loss. It was
Salido, you're a terrible man. But yeah, I mean, Lopez has a chance. Lomachenko needs to come and make this serious. If he doesn't take this seriously, there's a good chance Lopez could hit this. But I just watched some stuff today in between the Josh Taylor fight. And Lopez feels that Lomachenko is just talking trash. And Lomachenko feels extremely disrespected. Instead of this was in the Ukraine, I don't know. He made some implications that if this was in the Ukraine, I don't know if he'd be around right now. But I don't know, man. This is, if you're watching that, Lomachenko, Lopez, it's going to be close. Real close. We got a couple. We got a guy, folks.
He's here.
Filthy Rich is finally here.
I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I'm not going to like what he's wearing.
No, you're not going to like what he's wearing.
If it's a Yankees jersey or anything that's involving the Yankees, I'm going to punch him. Just wait with this. Come on! I said it. I'm hitting him. This is BS. Look at this crap.
Where's my camera?
You're right up there, man.
Look at the camera.
There you go.
This is terrible.
What's up?
Filthy Rich joining us as always. We finally got the whole gang here. God, you had to wear the mutable jersey, didn't you? I can't mute you when we're live.
Oh, I can't.
Hey, we were just talking about Lomachenko Lopez, but let's talk about the fights while we're here. We got about 4 minutes left before the fights start here. Charlo Derevyanchenko. Filthy Rich, I want to hear your thoughts about that fight.
It's going to be a screw job, I think. I think Charlo's going to win this by decision, but his face is going to look like Derevyanchenko won this fight. That's my thought on it.
Interesting.
We were talking about, a lot about Payano. You're a big Payano guy. We wanted to wait until you got here to talk about Payano.
We didn't, but
What
do you got? Payano and Roman.
Well, yeah,
Roman. I know he took Roman because he doesn't want to drink Tecate. But my question is why? What do you think? Like, what do you see in Payano that makes him dangerous?
He has the fight in him, if that makes sense. He's not going to go down without swinging. He might go down tonight, but that's all my thoughts on Payano. Nothing.
Filthy Rich. He's a man of few words.
Nothing's fancy.
I got nothing. Dude.
All right. What about
Dorticos lost today? Did you see that? Did you happen to see that Dorticos lost his belt today?
That's fine. He's probably gonna move up. He's moving out of that division anyways. He's gonna move up. Like drop the strap, move up, go fight Usyk.
I'm pretty sure he already beat Usyk.
Go fight him again
At heavyweight?
Go fight him at heavyweight. Don't talk to me, man. Go fight him at heavyweight. Go fight him at heavyweight.
Fair enough, I guess. Fair enough.
What about the Charlo Rosario? That's kind of been a main event that no one's really talking about because behind the Derevyanchenko is the main attraction. Filthy Rich, what do you think about that, Rosario? Does Rosario have a shot in this fight?
Of course he has a shot in this fight. I think the biggest problem with Rosario is he doesn't have any known opponents on his record. There's something about these foreign-born fighters that don't get the respect in the United States, but they come out swinging. They put up a good fight every single time. Jamel, I don't think, is going to look over this guy the way he did Tony Harrison. I thought Harrison beat Charlo the first time. I thought
he did. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was a close fight, but he did win, and I think that's kind of important there because sometimes the judges do get it wrong.
Not this judge.
I got a judge.
Not this judge. Not this judge, baby. Not this judge.
Who gets it wrong?
He impeached him.
Hey, I wasn't even there for the impeachment. That's BS.
You don't have to be.
Show me the paperwork.
Look. Rosario he shouldn't be a slept-on opponent, but because he wasn't born and bred in the USA, he might be an unknown. But he's going to throw a good fight. This could be a screw job as well. Again, this is a Charlo headline card, and I think the dollars come in when the Charlos win. So don't be surprised if this is so predictable. Where
like
we
see watched two fights where you see that we think Rosario and Derevyanchenko may have won, but the cards say the other way.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Well, hopefully we don't see Adelaide Bird in the thing. It's also.
I don't know, man. There's 5 championship fights. Bird's going to be in there somewhere.
She might be 2 or 3.
But hey, it's showtime, so we're also not going to have what's her name from HBO, Lord of the Rings girl. She ain't going to be there.
Well, maybe she's maybe she is. Maybe she changed.
Showtime.
Yeah, maybe she's on Showtime.
Real quick before we go, we were talking about Nere before we left. Before you got here, what are your thoughts about Nere?
I think he's gonna win. You got to watch a show for thoughts. You got to watch the show. I gave my thoughts on Luis Neri. I think he's gonna win.
I just love hearing you say Neri.
Well, there you go. It should be maybe not an easy fight, but sometimes these fights go 12 rounds. Why don't you back out of my view?
I'm trying to block your name. I'm trying to block your Yankees logo. I'm trying to block that logo.
All right. Hey, we're coming up right on fights right now. They're about to start. So, hey, for Filthy Rich, Raider Live, and Judge Jimmy James, make sure you tune in for us afterwards. We're going to have our podcast for our podcast subscribers. You can find out all our reactions to this, find out who has to drink Tecate on next week's show. Also, this week's show is up live on YouTube Live or on youtube.com/Raider Live. It's also on all the podcasts, thanks to Judge Jimmy James. Follow us on Twitter at Bruising Boxing. That's Filthy Rich taking care of that. Follow us on Instagram. We just started. There's no post except for the thank you. We started following. You know who we're talking about. Amir Khan. I can't play the music, but we can do the dance. We got that as well. Please, thank you very much for joining us for our pre-fight show here. We enjoy it. We're doing this for you guys, and we will talk to you guys after the fights.
Go Lakers.
Go Lakers. That's fine. Yeah, go Lakers. Buddy, dude, New York Yankees.
I knew something was up.
At least it's a DiMaggio jersey.
Yeah, when I heard that there was like a photo shoot or something.